Welcome back guys to OzFury Gaming. Today we're taking a look at the Reliant core. This is produced by MISC Industries and this ship is pretty wicked. It's definitely sci-fi and definitely cool. So what does this thing have? Well, we'll start off with the guns. It carries two size 1 guns, which is a Bearing M3A laser found on ships such as your Mustang and anything that's fairly small. One other unique thing of the ship, guys, is it has a size 3 utility that makes it into a size 4 gun mounting, which is very unique. I haven't seen on any other ships yet, and it's very cool indeed. So this is the front of the ship. Underneath there is our engines. That's where it takes off and runs from. So as we move around the back here, we can see that we have our cooler here. There's one cooler along with our power plant, and the same for the other side. Cooler there with our power plant. So the engines, you can see here, they're on a rotating pivot, so one each side to our hangar door, or hull door really. Opens up nice and flash. Look at this. So as we enter in, we can see this quite small cargo bay. This is a light cargo hauler. So as we move in, we can start to see this is our cabin, and this is all there is to this ship. There's no sleeping quarters, there's nothing. So it is a double person ship. So looking at this cargo bay, it's fairly wide but still small. And I like to draw a comparison to the Avenger Titan. So the Avenger Titan has got a longer bay, but is slimmer, but also is taller. Now, I find this ship to be more compact, making it harder to hit and probably more maneuverable than the Reliant core. But when we see the Reliant core in action, you'll see why it's such a popular ship. So after having a look at the cargo bay and the spacing between that and the Avenger Titan, let's have a seat in the pilot's seat and have a look at what the heads-up display is like. So it drops down from the top there. So it's pretty stock standard actually. It's got our hull integrity to the left there with our guns above it. We have our emissions and our infrared lines and the emissions that they're producing. We have ourselves our shields with our target displayed to the right and then the target name above it. So it's actually very good. You can see right down. You can see fairly well to the left and fairly well to the right. I feel like this ship really has quite a lot of potential. So where does this leave us? Alright guys, we'll take a seat in the pilot's seat and have a look at this heads-up display and see what it's got for us. So it comes standard with, like every other ship, the speed and the fuel controls and the coupling controls and all that sort of business, along with the guns up in our top left. Below that is our ship's integrity, like the way the hull's looking, our emissions and our infrared signals, along with our shielding, target lock-on and the target name and all the other information that comes along with it. So with this being said guys, I think it's time that we hop out into space and see what this bad boy can do. Alright guys, so here we are in the Pirate Swarm. As you can see, our body of the ship has been turned 90 degrees to the cargo bay, and we can see that it's looking quite a little bit epic. You can see how the engines sit now, and you can see that this ship is quite unique and quite special with its lookout. So here we go, we're just playing around. Now when you're in the actual player universe, you can, when you go bring it your landing gear, your ship will actually turn a full 90 degrees and then the body will be like it was in the hangar. Alright guys, so here we are and we're fighting against this Aurora. Take note that we have to move the entire ship's hull to actually get our guns to point forward because there are no gimbals and there are no turrets from standard with this ship. So as we could see against that Aurora there, the guns held up alright, but we're not taking any fire, and it's a bit of hindsight business going on here, but I realised that the ship only has front shields at this point in time in Alpha 2.6. So here we are trying to chase down this other Aurora, and as you can see, like, I'm not the best pilot, and I haven't flown the Reliant core that much, and it doesn't help that this Aurora keeps slowing down and changing his speed all the time. But it is hard to eliminate him. So after a lot of dicking about, we finally decide to slow down here and actually try and use whatever accuracy I have with the mouse, and we finally get him. Alright guys, so as you can see we're coming against this Aurora's just head on, So we're going to give him a bit of a burst. We can see we use the afterburners there, so it does get some speed up with those afterburners, so the engines do work quite well going forwards, which is always a plus. So you can see here we're peppering that Aurora, and we're not really getting his shields down. Like, we do get him down a bit, but no damage done to him yet. Sort of shows how much the AI was helping us through this match. Now as we continue on, as you can see, we're going to come up, have to go around this asteroid. Notice I have to turn to the 90 degrees here because you need to take into account that you've got this huge wing arc above and below you, which is very unique to the ship, which is what you have to always think about. You know, if you're in a Sabre or in an Avenger Titan or something like that, it's just flat, so where you sort of go, it's like a pan, it keeps floating around. So with that in mind, we're trying to get this Aurora here, and it takes a while. You keep doing stop and start business. We eventually decide, alright, well fuck it, just stop then, you little prick. And then he'll decide to take off. There he goes. So as we nail him in about 5 seconds, I'd like to take into account too that the ship, besides the wing arc, has some major flaws where there's no missile ordinances on board. There's no anti-missile ordinances, like we have no flares. So the ship really is quite underpowered for what it is. Alright guys, here we are in the ship customization in the Arena Commander. So as we can see here, we've got the gun layout. We have our left wing gun 1, which is the size 1 gun, the right wing gun, which is the size 1 gun, and then we have our left wing 2 gun, which is technically a size 3, as you can see with the numbers on the left hand side, but because of the utility we can have a size 4 gun. Now as we click on the size 4, we can see that we can select size 4 guns, but it doesn't work. So we'll go to size 3 and actually select this Panther repeater, and we'll make it solid mounted. Now you can mount this gimbal on there as well if you want, and have a size 2 gun, but because the gimbal works off your mouse, you have to lock the ship, so you might as well just put the repeater on and save all the hassle of having that gimbal on there. And you get a size 3 gun versus a size 2, so we all win. So we'll apply that, and the ship's ready to go. So we'll actually take this into the Arena Commander and see how it works for us. Alright guys, we're in Arena Commander now with that Panther repeater on. So we're going to find this Aurora over here to our left, and we're going to give him a bit of a hell leather. So we can, there's our guns firing there, so the primaries and the secondaries, and then we've got all of them unloading on him. Thanks to my inaccuracy, we don't really get to do too much to him, but we do start getting some damage done. So as from the video before, we would have seen with just those primary guns, we didn't even do any damage to the Aurora coming at us, and it was the same sort of ship. So here we are coming up against the second one. Our AI is already doing some damage against him, so he's probably weakening his shields a fair bit. So we'll unload onto him, see what we can do. And a bit of damage, and he hits the top wing. So there we go guys, that is the perfect way to demonstrate how annoying this top and bottom wing can be. Normally in any other fighter, it would have just gone straight over the top, wouldn't have worried you. But because we've got this huge wing on top, as we can see here, no damage has been done, but it's still a pain in the ass. So we got the first wave cleared, and here comes the 4 Auroras. So to our right, and we'll see what they can do. So here's our look guys at what the afterburner does. So 400 meters per second with the afterburner just on a quick spurt. So there's an Aurora to our left, but we'll decide to change targets here, and we'll go after this guy. So you can see we start doing some damage already, so the AI didn't even hit him, and okay, it wasn't much damage, but you can see just the difference that size 3 gun makes. So if you're running a size 4 gun, thanks to that utility, how much more you can probably do to the ship. Now there's nothing on the right wing, but I imagine that they would have one each end, because this ship needs some more firepower, and desperately. Its maneuverability is not the greatest, its speed, it's mediocre, but it should have some decent firepower for the size of ship it is. It's a size 3 ship. Its cargo bay is not very big, like I was showing before. The Avenger has basically the same size cargo bay as this Reliant core, and there's a ship size difference there. So there we go, cleaning up that Aurora there. So the damage that we do is quite a fair bit more significant compared to what we were doing in our first try at this. So we're peppering in, we can't quite do it, and there we go, we die. And yet again he hits the top of the wing. I could have, sort of tried to drag around. I thought he was going to go to my right, but went to the left. But it just shows how annoying those top and bottom wings can be. Alright guys, so after that little display of pretty ordinary dogfighting, I'll leave it up to you guys to make the decision on what you think about these two ships. Personally, I think the Avenger Titan is where it's at, but the Reliant core has that little sci-fi look about it. So, end of the day, it's your choice what you want to fly, but I think the Avenger Titan is a better value for money. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope to catch you next time. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Catch